Hi book friends, this is Kat. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to do my TBR game. Super excited. Now, before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and go over what I've read last month and let you know if I have completed last month's. So last month I have had a mood read, and for that I picked The Keepers of the Treasure, which is not currently with me right now, but I will put a picture, but that was my mood read. I'm about 3 chapters away from completing it. As of now, it is June 27th, so I will definitely finish that book before the month is up. But my rule is if I can get to past page 100, it counts for the time of filming. So that's counted complete. The next prompt I had was Geisha, the cover of the book needs to be your favorite color, and for that I had The Waterkeeper by Charles Martin, and I did complete that, and my favorite color is green. The next one I had are The Gargoyles, and this is read a book from a genre you don't usually read from, and The Gargoyles are from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I don't normally read manga, and I did end up reading Those Not So Sweet Boys and did complete it. The last prompt that I had was Lumiere, I ended up getting a card that said retreat back 8 steps, spaces, and then I ended up landing on a card or a prompt space, and it says Lumiere, read a book with an even number of pages. And on Goodreads, this was an even number of pages, but my copy unfortunately was not an even number of pages. It ended on 257. However, when I ordered it, Goodreads said it was even, so I'm just going to count that. And that is The Healer's Apprentice by Melanie Dickerson, and I did in fact read, like I said, I read it. And then for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, I was supposed to read a book that had half as many letters as the previous months, and so I was looking for a book between 5 to 6 letters, and for that I chose Otter by Catherine Applegate, and I did complete that. I did complete June's TBR, so I don't have to roll backwards at all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see that first roll. All right, so here we are again with the board. My husband is ahead, right over there. And then there is me, but I feel lucky. So here we go. Roll number 1. All right, and if you can see, that is a 10.
It's a 0 and a 1.
Funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get a card. And this says, Sebastian, read a nonfiction book. Yes, been feeling nonfiction. Okay, I will also insert here that for right now, am not doing any readathons for July. There's nothing that really caught my fancy at time of filming, but if there would be a readathon that I would like to do, I would possibly make a separate video. So there goes that. I am loosely still following through the summer bingo readathon created by at Beautiful Minutia's channel, which I'm actually doing pretty well on that, so maybe I'll continue to do that. But anyway, that's just a little side note there. But let's go back to that first roll. So I got Sebastian, read a nonfiction book, And for that, I am going to choose Finding Home, My Funny Journey into Faith. And this is by Rod Butler. And so if you've seen my book haul video, you know how I got this book and who Rod Butler is. But I'm excited to read more about his life. He is a funny guy. Rod Butler hosted the Coconut Hut radio show. And this was a radio show where Adventures in Odyssey would play on that same radio station. And so he was known as Bongo Rod. He knew my pastors. They were basically spiritual parents to him, and I've got to meet him and was very excited to just meet him and his family. And so he wrote a book this year, and I cannot wait to dive in to read more about his life. Roll number 2. Oh, that is a 1. Darn. But I did get to battle Shan Yu, which I'm excited because these are usually fun. I have to pick 2 prompts. First prompt says, read a book with a color in the title. That's The Raven from Sleeping Beauty. And be our guest. Read a book you own but haven't read yet. Ooh, okay, so I have to combine these 2 together. And right now I have no idea if I have a book with a color in the title, but we'll see. So let's have that. Okay, so roll number 2 got me the villain Shan Yu from Mulan, and I have to pick 2 prompts. And so the 2 prompts were be our guest, read a book you own but haven't read yet, and The Raven, read a book with a color in the title. So I actually don't own many books with colors in the title, and it was between 2. And I decided to go for another nonfiction just because the other one was The Scarlet Letter. So I decided to go with Blackout by Candace Owens. And I've heard a lot about this book when I first bought it. And was interested because I started to watch a little bit of Candace Owens. I'm just curious what she has to say. I also, I know it's very into politics, and I usually don't like to read about politics, but you know, this is, you know, have this on my shelf, and I was curious and I want to know more about this book. So it's going to talk about politics, and hopefully it's a good book. Roll number 3. Oh man, I'm rolling low. But that is a 2. 2. Another card. Pain and panic. Use the dictionary word of the day for inspiration. Oh my gosh. Okay, that one's fun. Okay, so the next roll is pain and panic. This is from Hercules. Use the dictionary word of the day for inspiration. So I thought about doing the dictionary of the day when I rolled, but I figured it's more fun to do it on the actual day I film. We'll see how well that works out. But I have my laptop, and I think what I'll do is just try to show the laptop to the camera. No, that's not really ideal, but I do film with my camera, my phone camera. So if you have a preference, please let me know if you would rather just see the screen recording on the day that I actually roll, or showing it on the computer on the laptop of the day of my filming. So I do my filming in 2 separate parts. One part rolls, the other part you know, talking about the books I picked. It's just easier, less, you know, less stress trying to get it all completed in one day. So, okay, so right now I am doing dictionary.com, And I'm gonna go to word of the day, which it just popped up. So that is the word of the day. This says Caseify.
Caseify.
Oh, Caseify. Okay, well, there you go. There's some ads, but Caseify right there. Okay, so Caseify says the meaning is to make or become like cheese. Okay, that's weird. Books about cheese. I guess what I could think of right off the bat, um, maybe. Well, there is a book that does come to mind. So let me go ahead and just check real quick on my Goodreads. Okay, so I think this is the perfect book because if you could see the photo, I think that looks like a piece of cheese. That's just me. So I'm gonna go with it. So it is the Jane Austen Escape by Catherine Ray. And I've never read anything from Catherine Ray. But let me read the description of this book. It says, after years of following her best friend's lead, Mary Davies finds a whimsical trip back to Austen's Regency, England, paves the way towards a new future. Mary Davies lives and works in Austin, Texas, an industrial engineer. She has an orderly and productive life, a job and colleagues she enjoys, particularly a certain adorable, intelligent, and hilarious consultant. But something is missing for Mary. When her estranged and emotionally fragile childhood friend, Isabel Dyer, offers Mary a 2-week stay in a gorgeous manor house in Bath, Mary reluctantly agrees to come along, in hopes that the holiday will shake up her quiet life in just the right ways. But Mary gets more than she bargained for when Isabel loses her memory and fully believes that she lives in Regency, England. Mary becomes dependent on a household of strangers to take care of Isabel until she wakes up. And there's a little bit more in there, but I think that's enough. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a great time, especially since I have 2 nonfictions in there. I would like a nice fluffy read, and that's the only book that I had that had a piece of cheese on it. So I figured I'll take it very literal for the word of the day and go with that because it's just too perfect. All right, and fourth and final roll. All right, this is a 9. Okay, at least we started to go up, but I passed the rage spot, which I'm happy. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Final prompt. Let's see. Yago. The book needs to have an I or an O in the title. Okay, that's doable. All right, so our final roll, and I did do 4 rolls. I got Yago. The book needs to have an I or an O in the title. And I know Katie's gonna be happy because I'm going to be reading In Search of a Prince by Toni Shiloh. Heard great things about this book. I'm excited. It's about a woman who is, I guess she's a princess, and she has to marry in order to take the crown, and it's all about her finding this prince. So it's faith-filled, my first Toni Shiloh book, and I cannot wait again to dive into another like nice, hopefully fluffy read and finally get to see all the hype around this book. Really hoping I would like it. Okay, so that concludes my game prompts. So now I have to pick a book for my Chantel Read Your Bookshelf challenge. And this month's challenge says, I'm gonna get my book out. By the way, if you are interested in a flip through of my reading journal, I know at Chrissy's Purple Library mentioned about seeing this journal. I am working on that video to show just a flip through. July's prompt is set in a different country or world. So that's prompts. Let's see. So in June, Otter was actually based in California, so the United States. So I am going to pick North Anger Abbey by Jane Austen. And I also think this is a good book because there is Jane Austen July, not really a readathon, but I know Jane Austen July is a big thing, so that could be one of the books that I do read for it. From what I know, this is a satirical novel, and hopefully I would like it. I'm not sure if I would like that type of written work. It's just this woman named Catherine visiting this abbey, and sounds like a fun time. So I'm curious, and it's gonna fulfill the N for the A to Z challenge prompt that I have. So that's a win on that as well. And this is also set in Europe, so different from the United States. So it works for Chantel's challenge. Okay, so those were my roles in my books. And my husband also completed his challenge. In the wrap up, I will share his prompt cards and what he fulfilled for those. I feel like I do this differently every month, so I'll try to find a consistent one that I really like, or maybe if you have a preference, just let me know down in the comments. But he did fulfill his prompts, like I said, so he does not have to roll backwards. However, this month he had really tough rolls, as you could see with this first roll. Roll 1. It is a 7. Oh, and he's battling Hades. Okay, so he needs 2. So the first prompt says, okay, I think it's pronounced Clopen or Cleopen. Or Cloppen, yes, but this one says read a translated book. That's one of the harder ones, and you have to combine it. So what's the next prompt? Says poor provincial town. Read a book rated 3.5 or lower. Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
A bad translated book.
Okay. Roll 2.
Please, not a 1.
Oh, okay. Well, it's an 11. All right. 1, 2. Okay. 1 card. He's excited that he's ahead. This says, Tale as Old as Time. Read a book with at least 2 timelines. All right. How fun. Roll number 3. Yeah. What is that? A 9. Okay. Oh, he gets a mood read and he's excited. Okay. And we have the final roll. I'm hoping you get another villain. 3. Okay, now as the card says, oh, Jolly. Read a book with an emotion in the title or on the character's face. We got some pretty cool ones this time. Okay, so right off the bat, that first roll, he had gotten a villain, which is Hades, which he was happy to get the villain because if he didn't, he would have hit that spot Rage. And if you don't know what Rage is, basically that is you start all over, and if you had books previously on your TBR, you had to wipe the board clean and go back. Like the person who landed on it had to put their books back off the TBR and then start at the very beginning. So it's not a very good spot to hit. So, but he did get tough prompts. So Cleopan or Cleopan. I forget how to pronounce the name, but he's on Hunchback of Notre Dame. His prompt says, read a translated book. And the second prompt is Poor Provincial Town from Beauty and the Beast. Read a book rated 3.5 or lower. So these two are really hard prompts because translated books are hard for us to like find that we would like to read. And then not only that is you have to find a not so good one. So I'll let you know what he decides or what he ends up doing for that. If at any point, I know since that's a hard one, I might just extend the low rating to maybe a 4 or lower, just so he can have an easier time. But we'll kind of see, because that is a hard prompt. Like previously when I was helping him trying to look for some, that was just hard to fulfill. So we'll let you know. Okay, so roll 2, he had gotten Tale as Old as Time, read a book with at least 2 timelines. Again, this is really hard because he doesn't read dual timeline, and usually you don't really find dual timeline unless it's like historical, like fiction or romance kind of books. And so if you have any suggestions, by the way, to any of these prompts that I'm showing, whether it be books or activities, please let us know. Usually it's fun to see what we could create that is not book related, to kind of help him out. But he can combine prompts, and he can do non-book like related with these prompts. So okay, so that third roll, he got mood read, so he's happy about that one. So I can guess what book he might pick for that one, but we'll see what he chooses. And then the last prompt, he has Jolly. Read a book with an emotion in the title or on the character's face. Again, that one could be an easier pick as well. So those were his rolls, and again, I will share what he read or did for the rolls last month in my wrap up. And I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll get to a better flow, I feel. I feel like I do things differently every time I make these videos. But yeah, I am interested to hear what your thoughts or preferences are. But yeah, I hope you're having a great rest of this month. Hopefully we'll get some cooler weather soon. Stay safe. I will see you guys in another video. Bye.